Mr. Gray, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, council, let's get to work. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Creel. Anything?
I'm waiting on you.
Mr. Tisdale, any discussion?
No.
All right, there being no other discussion, all in favor? Those opposed, motion carries. Before we get to the policy agenda discussing the budget, we'll see if there's a mayor's report. All right, any council reports?
No report.
No report.
Mr. Marshall, none?
Four.
Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
Mr. Shoemaker, I have no report. We'll move on to the citizens' comments, total 45 minutes. You have 3 minutes to speak on any topic. This portion is not question and answer. So I'll start on my left. Anybody on my left? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and address for the record so the clerk can duly record it.
Julie Richardson, 777 Sharon Hills Drive, Biloxi. Before we begin, I'd just like to say congratulations to the newly elected council members. I know you're going to do great things for the city. I'm here today representing Reese for Biloxi National Cemetery. I'm hoping that the city will again donate to the cause. Just a reminder, the National Cemetery here in our backyard, we were the top 5 in the country that manages to cover all those graves out there for our heroes. So I had the pleasure of Mr. Wayne Gray last year. I'm being part of that. I loved having you out there, and I'd love to see all of you out there and coming out. It's turned into a 3-day event. You have people that take their vacations during this time just to come lay wreaths on their loved ones out there. So again, any support that I can get from the city of Biloxi would be greatly appreciated. And thank y'all and have a good day.
Thank you. Anyone else on my left? Yes, ma'am. Yep, second row.
Afternoon, Sarah Chrysler-Rusky with the Harrison County Library System, and I just wanted to take a couple of minutes because I know that you are all facing difficult choices with your budget, and you will have to make cuts, and we of course understand that. However, I would like to point out that if you were doing a percentage cut or something like that, that our position will be particularly affected because we talked about last time how in a category that we don't really belong in, we're in with donations and things like that, and we're really a service and a large service in the city. And so you are our primary funder for the service along with the county's money and some of our state funds. Also, we are at 0% growth for the last 20 years. And so I know you've all talked about living within your means and things like that, which is very important, but I think we are more than living within our means because we are receiving this fiscal year less money than we did in 2005. So a cut to us will be a huge cut because we are behind your other departments. Your other departments have grown over that time, and that cut will hurt them, certainly, but they have grown at a higher rate, like we haven't grown at all. We had to do things like cut staff over the years. Before I got here, our book budget is maybe about 60% of what it was in 2005, so we spend less money for services than we were able to then. We sustained a large cut in 2021 where we couldn't buy books or very many books for the year, and that also penalized the other city the patrons of other cities because Biloxi patrons were using the resources from other cities because we weren't able to put book money in the Biloxi budget. And I also just wanted to mention, I know you may be tired of hearing about our pay rate, but as I mentioned last time, your lowest paid employee makes $15 an hour plus longevity plus educational bonuses, and our staff makes $11 an hour is our base pay, and a good portion of our 25 Biloxi employees are making under 13, with none making 19. So we hope that you'll be able to figure things out in a positive way with minimal damage, and I just wanted to explain those items so that you kind of understand how things could particularly affect library services if there is a significant cut, and that would mean maybe no books or maybe a branch would be sacrificed. So we thank you for all your efforts. I know it's not easy. Thank you again.
Thank you. Anyone else? My left, your right.
Council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to this council again this afternoon. Coming before you, I know you have a big decision to make before you today, and I wanted to speak a little bit about, and in light of the fact that we have 4 new council members, I believe in educating. And transit is something that is, it's a specialized service. It is a service. But more importantly, as you move forward today, making your decisions as to our subsidy request, transit is not only a service, it literally provides economic stability and growth for the city of Biloxi. Every dollar that your subsidy provides, gives us annually, we leverage amongst FTA grants. So in other words, let's say you move forward with an $80,000 reduction this year. That would result for us, that would impact us, what that looks like is $400,000, because that's what we would lose on our end, on a federal level. And that's massive. Being that there are 7 routes in Coast Transit Authority here on the coast, that's a big impact. And I want all of you, please, to reconsider, and I realize the cuts have to be made, but the impact that it will have to your constituents and the impact that it will have on your economy and the businesses along these routes, because it will be significant. I will tell you that I'm here. We will, regardless of what decisions you make, we will provide, and I will share that with you once we sit down and have, and make the necessary changes. We will make sure that we send that out to you on email so that you know what that will look like moving forward, okay? Another thing is a little earlier today, we'll have in front of you the type of change, the FTA's legal requirements, just so that, again, I believe in educating. Under 49 U.S.C. 4307, transit agencies that receive FTA funds due to a fare increase or a major reduction in transportation services, there are guidelines that we have to follow. So depending on your decision today, we do have to follow these guidelines that I've placed in front of you, highlighted under type of change. And that will require public hearings, that will require public comment, that will require a very broad, very specific target of some areas. For example, we will have public notices.
Sorry, your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on my left?
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Kramer Jones, and I'm the director of the Women's Resource Center. And like the last lady that was up here, I realized that a lot of the people here on the council are new. And so some of you might not be familiar with what we do, but we are an organization that provides free medical material and educational resources to women and men along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. In fact, about 30% of our visits come from the city of Biloxi residents. And what we do is we are really the first person that can give them that positive pregnancy test. We connect them with Medicaid. They can get WIC. We cut down the wait time from 45 days to 10 days for that. And then also what we do after that is we try to encourage them to come to our classes. And because of the budget last year that you helped us with, we have been able to expand our classes to nighttime classes, which has been phenomenal. Right now we have 23 men who come to our classes every single week. And in these classes, this is where transformations are truly happening, where you have people that come there from the time that they find out they're pregnant. They stay in our program until their child is 2 years old. And you would not believe the transformations that happen because we are there for them every single week. We are consistent, and we have about 85 people that come every week. And through that time, we are teaching them how to be better parents. You were just talking about earlier about Memorial. We teach those classes. We teach classes and connect them to the different agencies that can help them throughout their pregnancy and after they deliver their children. So we connect with the health department, with Mississippi State Extension. We have a broad number of organizations that we connect these people to just really holistically take care of them. And so one thing that we have found out over the last couple of years is that people are craving for in-person mentorship. And there are 30 pregnancy help centers around the state of Mississippi. We, by far, have the largest parenting education. And that's because of people and organizations like this that help and understand the value of what we do. We don't get any federal funding. We don't get any state funding. Every bit of our funding comes from individuals, cities, the casinos, people that believe in what we do and see what we do firsthand. So anything that you could give me, we would be very, very appreciative of it. And we understand as well that you have to cut somewhere. So we understand, but we appreciate you considering us again this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? On my left, your right. Anyone on my right, your left, would like to come up and speak? Ms. Hunt?
My name is Susan Hunt, and I'm with the Coastal Mississippi Mardi Gras Museum. And again, earlier today, I said thanks to all of you for all that you do, and we're glad to have 4 new council people. And you found out when I'm here, what do I bring, Mr. Marshall? What'd you get? Some bread. So thank y'all. I just want to thank you for all you do for the Coastal Mississippi Mardi Gras Museum, and thank you for the request that we've made for this upcoming year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Anyone else on my right, your left? Public comments are now closed. We'll announce our public agenda in a minute. I just want to predicate it on a couple of notes again. We started early, well, first of all, to the council, to the new council, the existing council members. Since July 1st, we've been examining these budgets and the different departments, and we've been looking at them pretty thoroughly. Obviously, there's a shortfall this year, and somebody said it was a $2.5 million deficit or discrepancy, whatever you want to call it, but even more impactful is that ending fund balance. We put the pencil to it, working with Mr. Weaver, and like I said earlier, with notes from Paul and notes from others, we just created this version today, and it got us, in a good position. It's still a difficult position. We trimmed $4.1 million out of the budget that you had last week, more or less, and it was some tough decisions. We got tough decisions to make today. It may be revised some, but we have to live within our means. We'd like to give as much as we can. But this is going to be a challenging year, but it's I think a year that we have to approach without fear, be practical, and make these tough decisions for fiscal responsibility. And I believe that's what we've come up with today. I'm sure there'll be more debate, looking forward to it. My hope is that we can arrive and put this thing to bed today. If we can't, we'll continue on, but we're up against the deadline pretty shortly. So with that, we'll go ahead and read the policy agenda. If the clerk would read the description.
To discuss the fiscal year 25-26 municipal budget, non-departmental and for related purposes.
All right, Mayor, Rick, I'd like to give you all opening remarks.
Say, through Diana and Rick and some of the council people, looking at some numbers and trying to get as close as we can to revenues equal expenses and use of some of the fund balance wisely. I think these numbers will reflect as wise as we can be, and without really doing some drastic things that I don't think anyone would bet. Over the last 3 years, as I mentioned, most of the heavy lifting is in personal service, wages, salaries, and personal services, and things that support our employees. And that's pretty much reflected on the progress we made on some of the decisions we made to reduce, the budgeted numbers there, as well as capital items that are multi-year, and some of the things we're challenged. The expenses are high because we got a lot of things that have been accumulating: air conditioners, generators, equipments. So it's a challenge, and y'all worked it out, and I think this is as good as we can get it, unless something pops out of the sky. But let me say, I'm not afraid of this budget. We've been in worse situations, and this is not a situation that's going to keep me up at night. We're just going to work hard to make sure that we're on track every day of the year. Rick, if you want, or Diana, y'all can add to it if you like.
Nothing? All right. I'd just like to say this: the major components of this was a hiring freeze. What that means is that any positions that are unfilled are basically frozen. If any of those positions become open or require a budget amendment to be brought before this council to consider approving such expenditures in the future, if we have revenues that we didn't anticipate. It also includes looking, instead of purchasing outright vehicles, certain vehicles, the suggestion was to lease vehicles, and that brings our annual expenses down. Instead of buying, cars and vehicles outright. Doesn't mean 100% we won't purchase, but the bulk of them we're looking at a lease option. And then we went into department by department, and we looked at some of the overhead indiscriminately in all departments, and we made some decisions to be fair and across the board, basically in all departments. We looked at it practically, indiscriminately, and we made some adjustments there to arrive at the final numbers. And it was done so with input from everyone, from the mayor's office, I'm sure from the directors, and from everybody up here that you made recommendations. We tried to incorporate that into the version that we have today. So, Mayor, you want to say something else?
You brought to mind a couple of points. As far as things that year after year after year, we wind up with 60 or 70 vacancies at the end of the year, almost every year. This time will be different. We won't try to spread that into the budget, which increases your budget to budgeted revenues to budgeted expenses. Sort of, working our way through that, and with the assurance that if those especially the key people that we need to fill, if we can adjust it as those opportunities. But year after year, we've always had a number of vacancies in each one of these departments, and I think that was the source of the ability to work into that figure of about $3 million. Again, that always kind of made me scratch my head why we budgeted 70, 80 employees every year, the same amount. So that was a deal. But, again, expenses like generators, expenses like roofs, expenses like, a fire truck that was paid $527,000 for, it's a pumper truck, not a ladder truck, it's $937,000 this year. So those are kinds of the obstacles that we're facing that's catching up, the last 3 years, and with every kind of, imaginable obstacle that we have to deal with. And so that's just a couple of points that you reminded me of. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. What I'd like to do, council, is to start with, I'm going to start with admin, go to executive, legislative, legal, community development, parks, police, fire, public works, engineering, and end with non-departmental. If y'all have any highlights or concerns or questions, I'd like to give the council a fair shot at all this. So we're going to begin with admin, and I'll start with Mr. Shoemaker. Do you have any questions on the admin budget as revised? No, nothing. Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, very quickly, just to summarize this, because a lot of numbers here over the past several weeks. Supplies, service charges, and contractuals going up $112,000, and in 25 words or less, could you recap what that is?
It's going up, but we cut it 10,000. It was going up another 10. It was going up.
The audit used to be under the council's budget, and Kenny requested that it be removed and sent to admin.
That was the bulk of that right there. And debt services increased $456,000.
That's for the capital finance purchase of the vehicles.
Okay.
That's new, that's updated?
Should be.
All right, then, under the legal department, supplies, service charges, contractual, that's increased $90,000.
That's the old pages.
That brand new one that was in your box. They did put that in. Okay.
You in admin or legal?
Legal, I'm sorry.
I'd like to stay on admin.
I'm sorry,
so we can
you're
put
right.
Admin to bed.
I was on a roll, what can I tell you? Okay, thank you.
Finish with admin?
I'm done with admin, thank you.
Mr. Creel, you have anything?
Nothing.
All right. Janelle, Mr. Marshall, anything in the admin budget?
I reserve the right to come back to you.
All right, Mr. Gray?
Nothing.
All right, Mr. Marshall? All right, we'll move into executive. I'll start with Mr. Gray, and I'll keep this going, flip-flopping back and forth.
I have nothing.
All right, nothing in executive. Mr. Marshall, or would you like for me to come back to you?
Back to me?
All right, Mr. Nail?
Nothing.
All right, Mr. Creel?
So there was a increase in salary and wages. Is that anyone in particular or just,
The mayor's salary?
okay. Oh, that was already, gotcha, okay, thank you.
Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
Mr. Shoemaker? All right, moving on to legislative, that's the council budget. Mr. Shoemaker? Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
Mr. Creel?
Nothing.
I'd just like to note, we reduced postage by $2,500, so any mail-outs to notify of any kind of related council events will have to be a little bit more slim and kind of manage that a little bit to be fair to all the council members that do some mail-outs or whatever. Mr. Nail?
No, nothing.
Mr. Marshall?
I want to make sure I'm understanding. This is not the final. We can still make an adjustment after this.
No, this is it today. We're trying to make our final run at it.
Okay. As far as the legislative, there are some things that, we can't cut because,
And where, I'm sorry, what department?
we're in the legislative.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. What department? What department did you say?
Legislative,
Legislative, go ahead.
okay. That's what we're in, right?
Okay?
Okay.
I just wanted to be clear.
All right, that's us. Okay. There are some things that, like, we need to figure out how we're gonna do the, like, we have an invitation now to go as legislators to go to Louisiana next month, things like that, in order to help to make decisions on bringing in, economic development. If you're cutting things, I don't mind cutting, I'm for cutting, but anything that's to help bring in business, we need to make sure we don't cut to the point where we can't increase our sales into Biloxi as a whole. Did I lose you?
Yeah?
Okay, so I was, make sure we have a budget of some kind of a travel budget in there to help cover those expenses, because we got a lot to bring in. We can't just sit back and say, we're gonna cut this, we're gonna cut that, but we have to bring in income. And it takes the 7 of us actually getting in here and doing this. And when we go somewhere, we're gonna need the expenses covered. If we go somewhere, we're showing up, we're showing them that we are very much interested in bringing your business to Biloxi.
How much would such a visit cost? To go visit Louisiana, what would be the cost?
Can we talk about it and then come back to just that point so we can add it to, I want to be realistic, I don't want to be under.
You said we need travel budget in there, so if we took it.
But this is, right, but you're walking in, you're doing what we complain to the mayor, we're doing right now, what we complain to the mayor to doing to us all along, bringing us this budget, these numbers, make a decision right away.
Sir, to be all with due respect, I've informed everyone that this would be in your box on Friday, or I'm sorry, in your email on Friday, and it would be in your box on Monday to review so we could go over this budget.
Okay.
And that's what we need to come prepared to this meeting. And if you want to talk about travel, what is your estimate on travel expenses?
That wouldn't be the only trip, that's one trip that came up.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, we're gonna have others, we're gonna try to get as medium as possible because we have to bring in economic development into this city.
Okay. I understood that point, but how much travel would you suggest that we would add to the budget?
Mayor, what would you think would be a good amount?
I think Diana was recapping, you had initially 10 last year and actually used a number, you only used 5 last year, and this year, I think we reduced it to 8. So you got 3,000 more than what you used last year.
All right. So there is money in the travel budget. And usually that was for MML or trips to Jackson, a couple of usually related to MML.
And let me add too, on some of these, like with SMPDD and some of these other things, if there's some travel related to a project that we may have, a lot of that budget would be not out of our pocket, so to speak. So some of the things that we had kicked around and talked about, we may not be on the hook totally. But you do have, about $3,000 than you used last year in the budget. Is that right, Diana?
I want to add, we had a discussion about economic development, okay? And our economic development department and trying to figure out a way. Your statement was that everyone has been doing it, which is?
Well, like I said, I'm just addressing what's in the budget versus what you used last year.
Okay.
Now, and again, we're all on the same page. We want to develop this. This is a very specific question, so I gave you the answer, I think.
Okay. So right now, it's budgeted how much?
8.
Yep.
Okay. Let's raise at least by 5. So we have to go and look. We have to go and talk to people. We have to bring things in.
All right, so this is how this will work. Mr. Marshall is proposing that we amend this proposed budget by another $5,000. We need 4 votes to pass this amendment. Otherwise, it fails and we move on to the next subject. So would you like to make that amendment?
Yes. That's the motion, that we added another 5,000 to it.
All right, there's a motion to amend or to adjust this budget by $5,000. Is there a second?
So if I understand correctly, we've already budgeted $8,000 for travel. This would be an additional $5,000 for travel.
So it would go from 8 to 13.
Right. Honestly, if I go anywhere, it's on my dime. So I don't see any reason to increase it. That's just.
Let's see if we have a second for some more discussion on it. Do we have a second to the motion? Anybody want to move it for discussion and second it? I'll second it for discussion. I'll second it for discussion. I agree with Mr. Tisdale. If we have some money in the budget and we want to not go to an MML event or what is allocated per council member, I think that's fair. Otherwise, it may have to come out of our pocket to make one of those trips, until we can get to a point. We got to live within our means, and so that would be my opinion.
Question.
Any other discussion?
Question.
So, Mr. Creel.
You said we used 5 last year?
You use 5 out of, yeah.
5 last year, okay. So,
And there's 8 budgeted. We use 5, there's 8 budgeted.
8 budget. In the event we surpass 8, could we do the budget amendment similar to what we do for everything else?
Yeah.
So if we stay at 8, we could always come back and do a budget amendment, correct? Thank you.
That's a good point. Thank you for that. Everybody understood that? We could also, during the year, if we run out of travel expense in the budget, we can make a resolution for a budget amendment. Okay. We have that in our toolbox. Okay. Any other discussion on the proposal before we take a vote to increase it from 8 to 13?
What if we just increase it from 8 to 10?
That'd be a different amendment.
What's that?
That'd be a different amendment.
Make amendment to increase it from 8 to 10?
That would be a different proposal. Right now, the proposal is to increase it to 5.
Right.
I'll just withdraw it and then he can go into 10.
What's that?
5, 13.
Yep, 5 to 13. 8 to 13, excuse me.
If I could ask a question.
Yes.
Diana, any idea of where we're going to land at the end of this fiscal year with the legislative budget? Are we going to have any funds that are unexpended? Possibly. So again, we can always amend the agenda. We could move it from one category in the budget, within the legislative budget, or amend it and move money from the general fund. So I'd say leave it where it is, and if it's needed, be thinking about what you want to go to and what it's going to cost, and then we can come back. We can always amend the agenda. Thank you.
Gentlemen, keep in mind, we got $3,000 more than what we spent last year. We have that in our toolbox, and then we can also, during the year, if there's something impactful, we can say, this is the reason I'm asking for a budget amendment. But we have to live within our means. That's why this budget was tweaked like it was.
Here we go.
But if we get 4 people that want to increase it, then the majority rules.
Let me say this also. This adding to it and during the year and moving money from here is what I'm really trying to stop. I don't like when the mayor and them do that. So we're going to set a budget, let's say it realistically, and we're only talking a few $1,000s. It's not going to kill us, but it will. For every dollar that you and I spend, anyone on this council spend trying to bring business into this city, is multiplied thousands of times above. We're going to bring in serious business. And for us to have to come into our pockets to do it, it's not, we have to invest. And we're not asking to spend for parties. We're asking to spend to invest to bring money into the city. I wouldn't come to you and say, let's invest and take the money and just blow it. We're asking to invest into bringing this city more business so that we won't have these shortfalls. We have to do this. This is not the normal way it's been done. No, I'm not asking that we use the budget, the legislative budget like this, because that's what we've always done. No, it's not been done that way. So we're going to do things a little differently. We need to go out and we need to help bring in businesses, and that's going to cost. We're just limiting it to a few $1,000s. It's going to cost more than that.
All right. Any other comments? Mr. Nail, anything? Any other comments? Call for the question on the proposed increasing it from 8 to 13. All in favor? Opposed? All right, 43? Did I get that correct?
No, I think it was 7-1.
6-1?
6-1
opposed. 6-1 opposed. Okay, I just wanted to get that right.
All right.
All right, we'll continue. We're still on legislative. Any other discussion on legislative? All right, let's move on to legal. I'll start with Mr. Gray.
I have nothing.
All right, Mr. Shoemaker.
I have nothing.
All right. Mr. Marshall?
Nothing.
Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, thank you, Diana. My previous question, I'm sorry I threw you a curve. 25 words or less, the increase in supply services contractual. Is there anything that stands out?
One position for a judge moved from
That's
payroll,
right.
and it's going to be contracted.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's all I have.
Welcome. Mr. Neal?
Nothing.
Mr. Creel?
Nothing.
I have none. Move on to community development. We'll start with Mr. Shoemaker.
I have nothing.
Mr. Tisdale?
Capital outlay, I'm assuming, I recall there was a vehicle asked for. Is that the bulk of that?
The bulk of it's the AV equipment at the visitor center for the,
Gotcha. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Mr. Creel?
The sign increase, 60, about 20,000, that's 6244. Am I looking at,
are you on the prior detail given?
I thought I was updated here, let's see.
Because we didn't send out the individual pages, we only sent out this piece, but that sign was reduced.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect, thank you.
It's down to 5,080.
Perfect, thank you.
Is that it? All right, Mr. Neal?
No, thank you.
Mr. Marshall?
I'm good.
Nothing.
Mr. Gray? Okay. Move on to Parks and Recreation. Mr. Gray?
On this cut, I mean, is this, I know we got a lot of playground equipment stuff we're gonna be buying. Is that gonna cut a lot of this playground equipment out that we have?
I think we're doing a lot of it in capital as well, too, so.
A lot of it in capital.
And we're getting a second bid on currently right now. Where'd Jamie go? He was smart than that. So yes, that's where we're at right now. We're not gonna be able to purchase as much as we would like, but we are still purchasing some through capital.
Okay, that's all.
All right. Mr. Shoemaker?
I have nothing.
Mr. Marshall? Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
Mr. Neal?
We're going to start, we're going to be doing some in-house repairs, you said, maybe?
Yes, so we're looking to do everything in which we can go in and fix from ourselves, and then being able to utilize what funding that we have to do those as well. And you and I have discussed the parks and many times, me, Mr. Gray, all of you, of course, Mr. Marshall as well. How can we go in? And we're also looking to partner with the community as well on some of these, of how can we utilize that? So, you know, the Friends of Hiller Park, the Friends of John Henry Beck Park, how are we able to utilize that? Because our community has a significant amount of craftsmen in there. And how can we tie that back in to maybe the city can help provide some of the lumber or something, and then we get the neighborhoods to help come in and let's do that. And it puts a level of pride back in it as well, too.
I'm ready to go to work too now.
7:30 in the morning, sir.
Mr. Creel?
Nothing.
No, I have nothing. It's a pretty big one. Police Department. We'll start with Mr. Shoemaker.
No, I have nothing.
Mr. Tisdale.
Yes, just to be sure I read this correctly, the bulk of the cuts deal in personnel services, and these are positions basically that we've been unable to fill, mostly in the air, not entirely, but mostly in the area of sworn officers and so forth. So as part of the freeze, then that's money that we're not expending on salaries. The capital outlay, there's a reduction of $735,000.
A lot of that's going to still be trying back into the capital lease, in which we're going to be able to utilize it instead of just buying it with one bulk. We're going to be able to buy those. Now, we also have issues with the roofs, HVACs from there as well. And exactly what President Glavin was talking about, as we go through these throughout the year, if we see a need, then we'll come back to the council and request certain percentages of these frees that we've had to be able to lift those.
Thank you, appreciate that. That's it, Mr. Glavin, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Creel?
Nothing.
Anything else? Mr. Nail, Mr. Marshall, Mr. Gray?
I got something. And on the police department and the fire department, we're cutting our budget by 1.9 million. So other people, everybody's taking a hit. Our most important departments is taking a big hit at 1.9 million. So y'all just think about that as y'all, up here, everybody's trying to get as much as they can, but our main departments is taking a big hit. That's all I have.
All right, move on to the fire department. Mr. Gray, you up for that, unless those comments covered it?
I have nothing.
Mr. Marshall?
We good?
Mr. Nail?
I'm good.
Mr. Creel?
So we're actually increasing fire, correct? Am I reading that right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought, okay.
Capital outlay,
right.
1.7 million.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Is that it? Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, Diane, to recap, in the fire department, capital outlay, 1.7 million.
That's correct. That includes the 2 engines and the ladder truck.
Okay.
But they're budgeted but won't be received this fiscal year, and it has an offsetting note, correct?
Gotcha, okay, thanks. So that's basically for fire trucks, which, all right, thank you, that's all.
All right, we'll move on to Public Works. Mr. Shoemaker?
I have nothing.
Mr. Gray?
Nothing.
Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
All right. Mr. Marshall?
Nothing.
Mr. Nail? Mr. Creel?
So personnel services of
Yeah.
315,000, is that in just employees? Oh, no, and that doesn't include the director, correct? The director position will still be allocated?
Not currently.
No?
I still got that hat currently, yes, sir.
Oh, no, I was just seeing if the salary for that position is frozen as well, or is it still open?
That position is frozen, and whenever you get with the mayor, get with y'all, that may be a position in which then we move forward on.
With the budget amendment?
But when we froze these, we froze everything as was. The only things that we've had that were projected to be hired were the ones that the mayor talked about along with President Gavin, and those were not frozen. But if they were vacant, then they were frozen at that point in time.
Okay, so not to backtrack, but on that analogy with the vacant proposals, that's another hit, or the major hit with the police department was employee vacancies, salaries as well, correct? Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else have anything with our Public Works Department?
I got one.
All right. Mr. Nail?
I've been noticing the Public Works Department and Park and Recreation getting gas at this EDO gas station, or they?
Fuel man. It's fuel man. We're the fuel man gas credit card. So price-wise, and correct me if I'm wrong, fuel man, you go out and bid that price, so it's the same no matter what, unless they've changed that process.
Anyone else have anything for Public Works that I might have missed? Nothing? Okay, we'll move on to engineering. I think the only thing we cut in engineering was convention training, is that correct?
Yeah, it was a very small salary on that one. I didn't have a whole lot to cut from Christie, so.
Anyone want to talk about engineering?
Yeah, I got some for Christie. We got 21 streets that need to be paved in the city of Biloxi through all 7 wards. Is these budget cuts going to affect that? I know we try to allow on some capital projects, but some of these roads are so small,
No, this is just our operating budget, so paving doesn't come out of this at all. That usually comes out of either our tax, the internet use tax money, or out of a capital project.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all.
All right, anyone else have anything for engineering? All right, we'll move on to non-departmental. We'll start with Mr. Gray, and we'll come on down the line. So, Mr. Gray, anything for non-departmental?
Come back to me, Kenny.
I'll come back to you, Mr. Marshall.
Yeah, on the non-departmental, I have a serious problem. Two things. The Salvation Army. The agreement with the Salvation Army is we don't have a recreation center in East Biloxi. They're taking up that point. And that funds their scholarships to the students to get them out the streets in order that they have a place to go. They can't afford it, they can't, and the Salvation Army has to, I know the rumors out there, they got all of this money, but they have to operate within a budget like we operate within a budget also. And the agreement is that they're gonna be doing the scholarships for the students to get them for our children because we don't have a rec center. So the amount that you're taking is going to eliminate that many children, and they already don't have enough. So I'm not asking for an increase, but we need to increase it. But we have to give them something. And they do a good job. The kids can go there, it's safe, they're supplying security, they got structured programs for them, everything that's needed, and it doesn't cost. If we had the rec center up right now, the East Biloxi Recreation Center, imagine the thousands of millions of dollars above that we would be spending. So we're not saving any money by cutting them at all. They're offering a true service to the city, and they're saving us 3 employees, 4 employees, and it's only $20,000. We cut them by $3,500. That means how many scholarships that they would. Right now, they have more requests for scholarships than the funds, and they're eating it up. They're swallowing the loss. So I don't want to cut them. I don't think that's fair, knowing that we don't have the money to build a rec center there right at this time. So that's not a cut to help. That's a cut that's going to hurt. Those are students going to be out there on the streets without that structure, for that, especially for that summertime, when they really and truly need it. The next thing is that the workforce development. When Mr. Gines was here, he spearheaded with them to go into Henry Beck Park. And all those structures that were dilapidated, rotten wood, need to be painted, this organization went there as a training in order to fix those, which means that the city of Biloxi did not have to pay anybody to go do it. Okay. When you cut someone like that to save $3,800, I'm going to be calling you. Because I already talked to them, they're going to go back out there. Some of the things that I've asked to be fixed, I've shown them also, and they said they're going to work on that with us. Not just for that park, but other parks. When you cut them, you're $3,800, you can get more phone calls from me. You know, so we have an understanding with them already to save us more than that. So save yourself a little trouble, save all of us a little trouble. Those two right there, they have a direct impact. Those are our volunteer groups. Those are the groups that are going out there with paintbrushes. Those are the groups that go out there with nails and saws. When you cut the kids that we're calling about the park, they have an air-conditioned building at the Croc Center. They have security at the Croc Center. They have rules and structure. We need our children there. Don't cut the children trying to save a few dollars, and then we end up paying more because they're locked up in your jail. And we're paying 3 and 4 and 10 times the one. Where do we go wrong? That to me makes no sense at all. I know we need to save, but you're not saving when you cut on the children. You're not saving when you cut on someone that's going to go there and fix your parks for you. Then you turn around and you pay somebody else to do it. Those are the two things.
Any others? Is that it? That's it? Okay. Mr. Gray.
I see we cut in the Coast Transit a good bit. I mean, that's going to affect our seniors, trying to get to hospital, trying to get to the doctor's appointments, to get groceries and stuff. I mean, that's a good bit for them. I mean, I just think that we should bring them up a little more than what they are. Because, I mean, that's a big cut, somebody that uses, that's only transportation. So I would like to try to at least bring them back up, maybe to where they was last year. You know, I mean, that's their only transportation, so we gotta help the seniors, because a lot of them don't have family. You know, some of them's the only way to get to work, you know, so, I mean, that's what I got, and same as Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Gray, would you mind if I go back to Mr. Marshall's points first, and maybe we can all address his concerns?
Yeah.
To see if what the political will is there. Mr. Marshall made a comment that he thinks those cuts are not necessary. Can I ask for the council, is there a consensus? Does anybody want to comment on what he said?
Sure, I'll comment. I think his comments on the Kroc Center were spot on. There's no facility in East Biloxi. They do a wonderful job there at the Kroc Center. I have no problem funding that. Knights of Peter Claver with the workforce development was $20,000 last year. 24, they didn't request anything, probably missed a deadline, I think. And then in 23, it was $10,000. They're asking for, I believe, $20,000. I can go. I'm good with $15,000. That would be my only comment. Thank you.
15,000 for which one, Paul? I'm making notes over here.
Knights of Peter Claver, the workforce development, Mr. Marshall, it's going to be MD 191.
If you went down, man, come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Would it be appropriate at this time to?
Take his calculator from me.
Excuse me, Mr. Marshall, he has the floor. We're all respectful of what our opinions are, and I'll come back to you in a minute. But, so that's Mr. Tisdale's opinion. Anybody else have any suggestions before we start opening it up for what our opinions are on these two items?
So would it be appropriate at this time to make an amendment to increase?
Not yet. Let's just have a discussion. But Mr. Tisdale says 15 and 20. Mr. Marshall says 20 and 20.
I'm fine with the 20 and 20.
You're fine with the 20 and 20. Mr. Nail? You're fine with the 20 and 20?
I'm fine with 20 and 20, because the workforce is a good thing for the young people.
That to me says we have at least 4 votes for 20 and 20. So we'll make that adjustment, bring those two up to 20 and 20.
All right, and go ahead, Mr. Shoemaker.
I know we have the 4 votes, but may I?
Yes.
Just go ahead and agree that I was good with the 20 and 20 as well.
All right.
And I'll run with the herd on this thing.
No, that's fine. That's what this is for. So I don't want to kind of get into, let's just see where the political will is and try to look at this. I know it's emotional. I get it. I've been there. But I'm just trying to make sure that we can run this meeting as civilly as we can. All right, now, Mr. Gray, you're talking about CTA. And you said that you wouldn't mind bringing it up because you think it hurts certain seniors or whatever. I'd just like to note, at the last meeting, I did ask if we gave you a budget, could you work, within a budget if we reduced it? And the comment was, yes, they would work with any budget that we give them. I realize it may affect services, and I appreciate the new information that they distributed today. So I'd like to do the same thing. Mr. Gray wants to keep it where it was last year?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, you have any opinion on it? You don't have to say if you don't, but if you want to, you have the floor.
Okay. My understanding when the young lady made they addressed us, the more ridership they have, the more they get funding. My comments are still the same as it was the last meeting. We know that the people in East Biloxi are the ones that really truly need ridership, but their bus isn't running there. I don't know if we want to cut them, but I do know that we need to increase that some type of way to get the routes into the place where the people don't have cars. That's it.
Mr. Nail?
I'm going to keep it the same.
Mr. Creel?
So decrease in the money obviously decreases the frequency of routes, I'm assuming, which then in turn would decrease the ridership, which is a trickle effect where it decreases her federal funding. If it's not a complete burden, I can't support the $413,000 that she requested. However, the budget on the $392,735 I could support.
Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, just bear in mind what was stated earlier here. The money that we provide to CTA is used for local match, all right, for federal grants and so forth. So for every dollar you give them, that's going to generate an additional $4 to $5, I believe they said it was $5 in grant matches. That's a chunk. The other thing is, because this has come up to, maybe modifying the routes, CTA will sit down and work with the city for whatever routes they want. You just have to pay for what they want. If you're going to reduce their funding significantly, don't be surprised if it impacts the routes that you have. With what you could receive in federal grants, with the increase that they're asking for, which is about $21,000, which equates to about a 5% increase, roughly, I think, if I'm doing the math on the fly correctly. So I think it would behoove us all to increase that amount as much as we're able to do, or what we all have the will to do. Even if it was $8,000 to $400,000, they're asking $413,000, roughly $413,000 equates to about a little over $500,000. I tend to look at some of these things now in terms of the millage, whatever. And I would think it would be even more beneficial if we could tie whatever we're going to allocate annually to a certain percentage of a mill. That way we wouldn't go through all this discussion and everything every year. As the tax base increases, as everybody's cost increases, anybody who's tied to a mill, what their allocation would be would increase as well. I think that'd be better for planning purposes, cut and dried, and that's, I believe, we'll talk about the library a little later. But if you went with a little over $500,000, 0.52 mils, that's going to generate a little over $412,000. That's where I am. I think we should honor their request, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure other folks have comments. Thank you.
All right. You won an award from CTA, didn't you? I'm teasing. Anyway.
I did. But let me tell you why I didn't ask for that award.
Go ahead, you have the floor.
All right. And the reason is because I support CTA.
Okay.
All right, because I realize the importance of the services they offer for seniors, for other services they provide in the events of medical issues or medical concerns when seniors or other folks, disabled folks, don't have the transportation to get from point A to point B. And during times when we have natural disasters, they provide those service. I mean, they're eating the cost, well, the city's not eating the cost for arranging to pick up people and move them north to get them out of flood zones and everything.
That's a good point. That's a county program, I believe, that does that. The county foots the bill for that, but that's a good point.
Right. We all pay a portion that gives them the operating funds to provide those services at little or at no charge. But again, they'll put together a route for whatever area you want to serve. You want something in Wool Market, they'll tell you what it'll cost. You want something north of the Bay, they'll tell you what it'll cost. So, having said that, thank you.
David?
I'll be very brief. I think it's well needed, and I do echo everything that Councilman Tisdale said.
All right, so you support the 400?
I would support the full amount, the 413.
All right.
So can I clarify?
I would support the 400.
So I want to clarify something. Can I Can I do that?
Yes.
Okay. I can't remember her name. Okay. Let me ask you, can you come forward? I want to ask you a question. I want to be clear. Okay. The way our routes are set up in East Biloxi, we need to get better routes. If I support the full amount that you requested, could you by chance, without asking us for more money, figure out a way to reroute something to get that Main Street division straight?
Get to work with it. We're waiting for this day. We'll get to work with it immediately, and we will submit, present it to our board, submit it to this council, and we're open to discussions. If you like it and what additional changes you would like to see, that is absolutely, we're happy to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm making sure, without asking us for more money.
Correct.
Okay, I understand, Mr. Tisdale, I understand what you guys are saying, that no matter what amount, what route we want, as long as we're paying for it, that's just life, you know, you get anything you want, as long as you're paying for it. But right now, we don't have it, so we need to work with it, and we need to offer that service to those who don't have cars, and obviously, that's the section that don't have the cars, don't have that transportation, and we want to make sure that they get it. If that's the case, you're with that, you rocking good, baby, we good.
Thank you, Councilman Marshall.
Anything else, Mr. Marshall?
That's it.
I just want to be clear because, again, the comment on the seniors, that is a county program. That is paid for by the county. That is not paid for by the city, the large portion of that. That's a county program that is designed to assist seniors if they need to go to the doctor, if they need to go to the pharmacy, if they need to get to even a recreation center. Dialysis, that's great. And it's a great, great program. I spent a lot of times with supervisors talking about that portion of CTA. It's a wonderful thing, and that is covered by that portion. I don't have a problem adjusting this to what it was last year, the 392. We are all trying to bear the burden of this budget. We worked on this with your input on a lot of stuff, but it's going to be majority rules on this. So I heard 400, I've heard 392, I'm just trying to get these numbers right. So a straw vote on keeping it at the 392 level of last year and asking CTA to redesign some of these routes to pick up in some areas that we think are more beneficial. I'll start with Mr. Gray, 392, 400.
The 412, like Ms. Tisdale.
The 412?
Yeah, that's what Ms. Tisdale did.
413?
Or
All right,
413.
all right, let me record these down real quick.
Because we got to look at it too, it's not just the seniors, it's the hotel workers trying to get to work.
Understood.
The food people, you know,
Understood.
it's everybody, not just the seniors.
All right, Mr. Marshall, 413 or the 392?
Oh, 413, our agreement is that we give you what you ask, don't ask us for any more, but we're good.
All right. Robert?
413.
Mr. Creel?
392.
392. Mr. Tisdale?
Sure, I apologize for the confusion earlier. If the county's paying for those services that I mentioned earlier, I think you're accurate, Mr. Glavin. I apologize for the confusion.
You're fine, Mr.
Anyway, I'll go with their full request at 413,950.
Thank you, Mr. Shoemaker.
413 as well.
All right, 413 is the consensus, if you'd make a note of that. All right.
Thank you, Council.
You're welcome. Any other questions on any other items? Where did I leave off? I think it's Mr. Nails up. Do you have any questions on any items? On non-departmental, Jamie? Any questions?
Let's see where we are.
One, Kenny.
Go ahead.
Here.
Go ahead.
No, we didn't.
All right, Mr. Creel, you got the floor. You want to give it up for Mr. Gray?
You can come back to
All
it.
right, Mr. Gray, you have the floor.
The CASA, I think we need to leave it at 20, because, I mean, that's their only defense for the kids. I mean, I know we're trying to cut the budget, but, I mean,
Again, I told you we were indiscriminate, that's why we're in this process now. You know, it was nothing to attack anybody personally, it was just to try to do it indiscriminately to get
Right.
to a point.
My opinion, they need more money, but I mean, I'm good with 20.
All right.
And that's just my.
Mr. Gray, it's currently at 16. 16.2. Mr. Gray recommends 20. Mr. Marshall? CASA?
Tell me again, what does CASA do? I understand.
The
it.
court-appointed, like, child services for foster children.
She's here if she wants to.
CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. Our volunteers were appointed through youth court here that occurs in Biloxi to advocate for children who are innocent victims of child abuse and neglect. The children range in age from newborn babies, drug addicted, to the age of 20. And the service that we provide is connecting the community to become advocates for those children in court proceedings. And today there are 248 children in foster care in Harrison County alone, with the second largest percentage of child victims, second to Gulfport, here in the Biloxi city. 70% of the children are under the age of 12, and over 70% of the cases involve parental substance abuse. And these are cases which CPS is intervening, and your youth court judge has requested that we serve every child. And unfortunately, due to the lack of funding and lack of volunteers, we're currently serving 59% of the children. The funds that we would use with this allocation and that we've been very grateful to get in the past have helped us to support the recruitment, training, and ongoing support of these volunteers, because we're taking lay people like all of us and putting them in the middle of complex, overburdened child welfare system work in youth court and in the social services arena, when most of my volunteers are not lawyers or social workers, but they're independent people who stand in the gap for these children.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
My mother, she had 9 children. When she passed, she had about 30 grandchildren and grandchildren, great-grandchildren and grandchildren. She was a very strong Christian, loved the Lord, did anything she could for children, anything for the community. If she was sitting here in this seat where I'm sitting, how would you think she would vote? Chief, don't leave. Chief. How would you think that she would vote?
How would she feel?
How would she feel about your organization? Would she cut you or bless you more?
I think the only way we exist is without the community support, and safe families are the goal for every child that we serve. And it would be my hope and prayer that she would see this deemed worthy of a cause to support. Because what I know about innocent child victims who are little is that when they grow up, if they don't have permanency and they don't have a family, they unfortunately repeat the cycle of generational child abuse.
Okay. Chief, does what her program do, does that help your department in communication and community services?
It does.
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
You good? 20?
We can find another dollar to save somewhere else.
All right. Mr. Neal?
I'm good for the 20.
All right. Mr. Creel, you had the floor.
Thank you. Looking at your previous request, it looks like in 2024, 2023, and I believe 2022, the request was for 10,000, and it looks like in 2025 it increased to 20. You had made some, and please, I'm not against this organization. You can't be and be, a Christian. So my question is you mentioned Harrison. How many kids were in Harrison County? And then you mentioned half or a significant number of them in Gulfport. I didn't get a figure on how many in Biloxi, and this money is used specifically for Biloxi, correct?
Yes, any that we receive can be specifically restricted to the particular city that we serve. At this point,
The largest percentage of children that we serve are coming from Gulfport. Biloxi is second. Biloxi is about a third of our population that we currently serve.
Okay,
And I think you spoke to the increase.
right, so it's 3 years of 10,000, and then all of a sudden went to 20, and it's at the subsequent year for 20 as well. Is that because you had more children, more training, more volunteers?
Yeah, I can speak to that. A little institutional history, just to part with y'all, is that about a year and a half ago, the CASA program that was serving in Harrison and Stone reached out to the program that I was currently serving in Hancock County, and they were on, unfortunately, a place where they were going to have to dissolve as an entity. So the city of Biloxi had been serving and supporting that CASA program that sought to be able to have us become regionalized, partly because I have 25 years of child welfare experience, and we were serving all the children in Hancock County. So last year, which was the first full year that we were a regional program, CASA of South Mississippi, I actually proposed a standstill of the 10,000. And during the budget workshop like this, City Council member Dixie Newman spoke up for CASA, as well as the Women's Resource Center, the Center for Nonviolence, and really applauded the work that we were doing. And in that conversation, she advocated for these community resource agencies like us to get more consideration. So I was asked if we needed more than 10,000, and I definitely responded we did.
Right.
That it was not the idea to ever be greedy and to ever expect that local governments were going to contribute to the bulk of our budget. Our current budget, 8% of that is funded through local and city government.
Okay, so is Gulfport equal with the request that we have without?
Gulfport's request is currently at $10,000.
Okay, thank you.
All right. What amount, Jamie, do you support?
I'm saying.
All right. 16. Mr. Tisdale, comments, and what amount would you support?
I'll go with the 16 as well, and I appreciate the director's candor in explaining how we got to where we are financially. Thank you.
Mr. Shoemaker? By the way, I'll support 16. Mr. Shoemaker, deciding vote?
Put it all on me. All that pressure. But I had my decision made. I'm going to go ahead and support the 20,000.
All right. 20,000. All right. Mr. Neal, did you have any others? All right. Mr. Cruz, you have the floor. Any other non-departmental you want to talk about?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Mr. Tisdale, any non-departmental you want to discuss changing?
Again, the Harrison County Library, you may recall, Library Commission, you may recall that I made the comment it would be nice if we could have a gentleman's agreement to link the funding to a millage, and not that it be an ordinance per se, but just a gentleman's agreement. I'd really prefer an ordinance that would allow us just to tie the support to the value of 1 mill, which again would increase as the tax base increases. And I think Ms. Ruskey said that she would be agreeable to that. Again, a mill this year generates $793,000. And if I understood correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, you could live with that this year, provided that in future years it was always tied to that 1 mill. You can come up, sure, come on. If Mr. Glavin doesn't want you to come up, he'll hit me with the gavel, not you.
Taking that.
Go ahead, but did I understand correctly? I mean,
I did. I hope you won't mind. I wanted the opportunity to add, after listening to the discussion and seeing that we potentially are going to be the only entity actually cut rather than affected by freezes, or, you know, some of the cuts are smaller. Another thing would happen at our state level. We are required by the state to what they call a maintenance of effort.
right.
So if we are cut and other entities aren't, we stand to lose our state grant standing, and we came in danger of that in 2021 because we had a cut that year that wasn't applied across divisions. And so that's an additional piece of, because I wasn't sure how you were applying your formula, but now after listening to this discussion, it does sound like we would sustain a cut, whereas others have freezes, which in the legalese isn't the same thing. It is an effective cut, but it's not exactly equivalent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. No, there's maintenance of effort. That's a common feature, and, you know, that the state is willing to work to support you as long as you're willing to work hard with the local maintenance of effort. But to be clear,
Yes, on your question, yes.
you could live with a mill
Yes, we
this year, which is several thousand less than what you're asking.
would probably cut our book budget,
Right.
whatever that amount would be.
But then, on the other hand, I wouldn't expect you to do that unless you were going to do that at least for the remainder of this term that we're in office, a full 4-year period. Diana, how much typically does it, I know it's hard to gauge, but how much is the increase, how much of an increase does one mill generate roughly in terms of growth? And I know it's going to vary from year to year, but you'd have
On development, this year we went up about 60,000. And we went from about 736 to 793.
Right, 736 to 793. And right, so a mill might well generate 800,000 or 815,000 next year, just to pull a number. I mean, none of this is an exact science, but that being the case, we wouldn't be up here quibbling over all of this, but I just need folks to understand what I'm asking here, and that is for the remainder of our terms as current council, we would link the funding to the library based on one mill, whatever that generates, and Diane could tell us every year, and bingo. And my guess is we might not see you again.
I would come to say thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where I am, and that's what I would suggest if everybody understood that.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. I'm going to, in addition to Mr. Tisdale suggesting 793, I'm just going to say I would support an increase from the revised version of 652 to 700. And I think that's fair. So 700 or 793, and let's start with Shoemaker so I don't end with him and put him on the spot. But before we get there, Mr. Creel wants to chime in.
Just a quick question. So,
okay.
The major part of your increase was for a pay raise for your employees.
Part of it was for pay raise, part of it was for just increased costs, because book costs have gone up, all insurance, all those things have gone up, and also for the little bit of PERS, and yes, those were the main.
So there were 25 employees, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
And what's the longest tenured employee you have?
I think 20 plus, maybe 25 years,
Okay, perfect, thank you.
making under 15 an hour.
Okay.
Let me get this right now. Between Harrison County, they give you, what, 1.78 million?
Yes.
And Gulfport gives you 516?
Yes, we don't have, we haven't had our hearing with them, so we're not sure.
And what do you get in grants?
There aren't a lot of grants for libraries that are substantial. We get small grants for things like programming, like for summer reading, or to buy books for, our outreach vehicle. But that depends from year to year, and our major source of grants is the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and that agency may cease to exist in the next year. So that was usually around 8,000 to 10,000, and we probably will lose that.
And the city of Biloxi owns 4 buildings of your library?
Yes.
How much should we pay in maintenance fees and insurance? Does anybody know on these 4 buildings?
A guess. What's a guess? We won't hold you to it.
Well, I mean, under the property insurance, it covers all these buildings, so you can't break it down individually. I'm sure there's a cost, but the person who might answer that best isn't here, be the insurance folks.
Roundabout, nobody knows. So we're not only,
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
right, added on top of the, let's say, 700,000 they want to give you. I mean, that's over $1 million that Biloxi would donate or give to you. I can't support the 700. I would go with what's on here, the 600 something. The 625 or whatever.
Wait, we're going to end with you.
Or
You might be the deciding vote, so I don't want to put that pressure on Mr. Shoemaker.
Effort to happen, and that would entail most likely a loss of a branch for sure. To cut it from 780 to 650, that we would have to close a branch and probably not purchase any books for the year.
Yep.
So with y'all getting over $3 million, y'all can't keep all the branches open?
The $3 million is for all 9, we have 9 branches in the county.
I thought you only had 6, 2 and,
We have 9.
where's your branches are at?
Pass Christian, D'Iberville, 2 in Gulfport, Saussure, and the 4 in Biloxi.
Okay, I thought you only had 2 in Gulfport and 4 in Biloxi.
Yeah.
6.
And 1 in Pass Christian, and 1 in D'Iberville, and 1 in Saussure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mr. Marshall, anything on library? On the library?
I'm not closing the library.
Okay. Mr. Nail?
No.
All right, I'm going to start on this end. We actually got 3 proposals. There's the current 652, 700, or 793. Mr. Shoemaker, which one do you prefer?
I'm sorry, we've got 2, right? 793 and the 6?
3.
I'm so confused.
652, 700, and 793. We're going to see how this goes.
I'm going to go, though, I think 52, 700. And then the mill, yes, okay, I'm sorry. That was, okay, thank you. This was on my list to bring up when it came my turn anyway. I think the libraries are needed in the community. That's my opinion, and I think that we need to support them. I understand it's a lot of money, and I guess it gets spread out amongst the whole county, but I think it's if we can do it, I think we need to go with the 793.
All right. Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, I'm good with the equivalent of 1 mil for our term. That's a 4-year term.
All right. Mr. Crew?
So are we going with the mill, or are we going with the 793?
652, 700, or 793?
So I was on the fence until I got somebody that's worked for the county for 25 plus years making $11 an hour, so I'm going to go with the 793.
Mr. Nail?
700.
Mr. Marshall?
793.
That's 4 votes. 4 votes. Okay. 793.
And in no way I'm against the library, not at all. But, I mean, as much money as the city is spending on all the buildings, that's just a lot to look at.
I just want to point out, we try to make some cuts in this non-departmental, where it looks like we're right back where we are. If we're going to make change and just to me, it's puzzling. We only have a certain amount of funds.
So Kenny.
And we're getting back to where we are. Anyway, I digress.
Hold on, just to elaborate on your comment, you're exactly right. And as you mentioned, we could sit here all day and go back and forth. However, keep in mind the 793 is a decrease from what she did request.
Sure.
Her initial request was 805. So in order to be fair, she did get decreased.
You're right. I stand corrected. All right. Anybody else have anything else on non-departmental? Mr. Shoemaker?
Saving the best for last.
Yep.
I'll make it quick, and I know we're here to cut expenses, and I know we haven't done a great job in non-departmental. However,
That's okay.
My opinion, what we have done, and a lot of those were on my list to bring up when it came to me anyway, the organizations and the agencies we voted on and given the money, my personal opinion, I think they're all needed. They're really doing the Lord's work anyway, and I've got 3 more to add that y'all don't want to hear. And I don't want to diminish any other organization that hadn't been brought up, because I just think the ones we voted on in these 3 really need to be looked at, and I think they need to be funded because of what they're doing. The only other 3, other than the ones we've discussed, Gulf Coast Women's Center, Family Justice, Domestic Violence, and the Women's Resource Center. I know we've cut each one of them down $3,800. And again, I think what they're doing is tremendous in the community, and it's only $3,800, but someone spoke a few minutes ago, and any money they can get is going to help them. If it's $1,000 and not $38,000, anything we can do to give them more. We've given them 20 the last 3 years each, and now we've got them getting $16,200, which is still good. I just think if we can give them any more, every cent they can get is going to help them tremendously to help these people in the community.
All right, so what are you saying?
Well, I'll start, if I'm going to bring something, I'll start them all 3 at $20,000 apiece, like they were last year.
All right, Mr. Tisdale, just keep it the same or increase it?
I'll go along with that.
All right, Mr. Creel?
Well, as you said, we could debate this all year, but if you go back to their request in 2022, one was 15,000, one was 5,000, one was 0. 2023, 20,000, 10,000, 10,000. They escalated in 2024 due to a former council person, which, in not advocating against it, I'm just advocating against the monetary value of it. I know they do good work, and I know that they're needed in the community. I'm not saying that at all. I think that they work well within their means, as we should work well within our means. So I would support the 16 too.
Mr. Nail? All right. I'm going to support the 16. Mr. Marshall?
5 to 20.
Wayne?
All right, what are we doing, a 16 or the?
16 or 20?
I support the 16.
All right, 16 is the consensus.
May I comment just to that last, just real quick?
Yes, sir.
And I understand what Councilman Creel's saying. However, I will bring up that in the last 2, 3, 4 years, everything has gone up, whether they ask for it or not. I mean, everybody on this list will probably take more. I'm confident if we offer them more. I think they need it, and I understand where everybody is, and that's fine. That's why we're here to vote. But let me just say, everything, gas, food, groceries, rent, mortgage, everything's gone up. So even though they didn't specifically ask for it until last year, they still need it. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Listen, I know this is tough. This is tough decisions, tough to talk about. And as I stated in my opening remarks, we'd like to do more. I'm sure there's 50 other organizations that would like us to donate to that do tremendous, tremendous work for our communities. Nobody is disputing that. I appreciate the council's hard work on debating this and discussing it very, very much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure everybody out here does as well.
Can you one more question?
Mr. Creel?
I know everybody's looking at the clock. One thing that wasn't brought up, and it's just for my own question, would be facade grant.
Okay.
There's a
The 25,000 or
24.5, yeah.
24.5?
Yeah. Because
Take some of that and use that.
Is that
the women's group? I apologize.
Biloxi, yeah, in this group. 24.5.
Is that?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel.
Version, we talked about 2 different versions.
Yeah, there's 2 facades, one Main Street, one is...
This is the Community Development ND 406?
Yes. These are the agreements. We currently have 3 of them. How it works is we take, it's actually a formula. However much sales tax they pay, we get 18.5, right? 18.5% of all sales tax that they pay.
I remember when this...
Take a multiplier based on the agreement we...
Which facade grant is this for?
Talking about, it's 3 of them that we do this way. It's Desport, Sabella, and Machado.
Which one? Is this through Main Street? This one through Main Street, or is this through?
Street does administer it.
All right, so this is the main, we have two on here, two facade, non-departmental. There's two of them on here. You're talking about Main Street or both of them?
About the ND 406.
Okay.
Just the one listed facade. This is the one that's funded by sales tax, it's not?
Correct.
Okay.
And that is the same on, I believe the other one that he's speaking of is the Rouse's one. It's funded the same way.
Okay.
So the Main Street, is that not the same as it generates as sales? Because they were cut from 50,000 to 40,005. Is that not?
That's not Main Street.
That's not the same, okay. All right.
Come on up, you gotta speak into the microphone.
Please.
Yeah, that's the dude.
I know on there, it says Main Street is, it's like you're giving money to Main Street to, but we are strictly the nonprofit facilitator.
You're the conduit.
Yes, to get those monies back out to the, and it's, the two that are facilitated by Main Street is the Bella and Desports. Machado Patano is SMPDD. So there's two that are just strictly facilitated. So through their sales tax, the money is generated by sales tax. It's, Rachel figures up what the amount will be, and then a check is cut to Main Street, and I turn around and write the same exact amount and give it to the Bella or Desports.
Perfect, yes, ma'am.
So,
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know the administration has patiently been observing, taking notes, and absorbing all this. Do y'all have any comments on the proceedings today that you would like to make?
I have one other comment.
You know, we made some significant suggestions, but we're adding back to what we started. So we're approaching back another 200,000, all right? We added back to the $200,000 savings that we started in. We're right back where we were. We're non-departmental, and that's not to put the logic behind everything. It is what it is. We'll make it work.
Okay. Rick, any comments?
From the administrative side, no, sir. We give you courses of action in which you seven up there and the mayor make the final decision. So we just have recommendations, and then whatever you decide,
all right,
make it work.
Mr. Tisdale?
One other item on ND 195, that's Feed the Needy. They've never requested anything of us until this year. I don't know much about, I actually don't know anything about them, but I would say I'm not in favor of funding them this year, taking on a new.
Mr. Tisdale, they were funded through the admin, and we moved it to non-departmental this year.
They were funded through the admin, which department?
Admin budget, admin and executive.
Well, okay, so I don't know what that is. Feed the Needy. I don't know what the program is. I don't know, if you don't have a description, that's fine.
Why did you move it?
So that it was categorized like the remainder of the request.
Makes sense.
Before it was within the administrative and executive budget.
So you moved it from there to?
To non-departmentals.
Why?
Because it's submitted as a request like the other items, so we were trying to be consistent.
How many years was it with the administration?
How many what?
How many times has it been with the administration?
I can't answer that, but it's been for several years.
It's similar to the audit report that was in legislative, and we moved it over to administrative. And I guess they found this over there. It probably was just started there and never moved into its appropriate category. So now we see it, and we didn't really see it before, where it was, so we didn't notice it before. I think that's...
So who are they and what are they?
They provide meals to less fortunate people. They've been in business for 36 years. I don't know where they're located, though.
Cross.
They're located on Lamy Bridge Road in D'Iberville.
Have they come forward to us and try to talk to us or reach us? Have anybody on this council been talking to them at all?
No?
I stay in Biloxi.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Holidays?
It said feed and needed. That's the law enforcement feed and needed that we do every year. All the law enforcement agencies in Harrison County get together, and we do a major cook for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and then we deliver those to people who are more or less fortunate. We compile a list from year to year as to where those meals are going to go. So it's strictly for the food. All the labor is done by volunteers.
Thanks for explaining that, Chief. So,
I didn't realize that's what it was until.
no, that's fine. So I'm thinking, could we put it, if we're looking for a place for it to land, I guess administration, or could you put it and just fund it through the chief's budget? Or do y'all still want to keep it administration? Whatever you want to do, I'm fine with.
Yeah, I think it goes non-departmental, in my opinion, and we can see it more clearly, I think.
Well,
It's about 800 to 1,000 meals for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Not that, first of all, when you was on your way out and I stopped you, I'm old school. I tell my kids, don't stop an old man when you see him running to the bathroom.
All right,
Don't do that.
I'm good.
Don't do that.
Appreciate you.
I apologize for that. Second thing is, I'm 100% for anything that you can do to show community action. Besides, I don't want them to only see you taking their dad or their sister, their brother to jail. If you're doing something other than that to community service, you got me. So now I know who you are, what it is. You know, I don't see no problem with that.
I appreciate
you.
Yeah, I agree as well.
I wasn't completely sure that I was an old man, but you've confirmed that.
I know that walk.
All right, I'm glad we got a little lighten up the room. Thank you, Mr. Marshall, for that. I'm going to go, if there's no other comments, we're going to go ahead and wrap this session up. I want to remind everyone at our September meeting, there'll be a clean copy of everything that we discussed here, and at that meeting, we'll be prepared to approve and recommend this budget. So,
Do this all again?
so no, we're not going to do it all over again unless y'all want to, you know, so I want to thank y'all again. Thank you for giving your time and effort. Been a lot of hours in this, and I want to thank the administration also, Diana, and I want to thank y'all, the administration, HR, all the departments that's been involved with this, and like I said, the council, the clerks, the directors, everyone that's provided input, and certainly our constituents that have been sending us emails, all the non-departmentals. Thank you for your work. This isn't anything personal. This is trying to fit the round peg in the square hole, literally. And I think we're almost there. So the chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Question real quick. I know we've got to, let's see, we're going to have a public budget hearing next Tuesday.
It'll just be a resolution.
Right. And then we'll need to have, typically we have the budget hearing at 5:30, before that 6 o'clock council meeting.
We have a budget hearing for the general public.
Well, in past years, it's been at 5:30. I checked it, like it was last year, so I'm assuming it's prior to the regularly scheduled council meeting. Typically, we start at 5:30. It's up there. We listen to comments, and then
it usually goes pretty fast.
Yeah, it does. And then we adjourn, and moments later open the regular council meeting. We just need to be sure that that's all.
Yeah. All right. Any other comments? The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Gray. Discussion. All in favor? Those opposed?